Hello everyone, in this session we are going to learn how to create our own MCP on Appium. We are going to use the Appium tool, MCP tool and Claude here. So let's get into this session. Before getting to know what is MCP, first let's understand AI without MCP. Here let's take an example of you have an AI model, and for that you are sending a prompt something like this, like click on login button using Appium, and that prompt you are sending to AI model, and once you send this particular prompt to AI model, it is going to provide you a code something like this, which is very generic, right? It is going to say that you need to find the element and then you need to click on this one. But if you are going to use AI with MCP and you are sending the same prompt here, and that AI model could be anything, and here you are providing some context. That context is nothing but a model context protocol. This context includes some tools here. That could be a click element, find element, or could be anything. And whenever I'm sending this particular prompt to AI model, it will take this particular prompt to AI model, and this AI model is going to refer this MCP tools, and then it will take an action on the given prompt. And all these details, the details of the tools will be sent to Appium, and Appium will execute the action given on the mobile. So here AI model is little bit having more context so that it can act accordingly. But if you look at without MCP, it is more generic, but here with MCP it will be more specific here. If you go to Google and search for MCP, this is how the website look like. Just click on this, and here the detailed definition is given. What is MCP? That is Model Context Protocol. Model Context Protocol is an open source standard connecting AI applications to external system, right? The external system could be anything. It could be of your file system, it could be of your database, right? It could be any automation tool, it could be Appium, Playwright. There can be n number of tools that you can connect with your MCP. If you take a look on this particular diagram, this is a MCP tool, and this MCP tool can connect to any of the n number of input source. That input source could be a data, development code, chat interface, IDE, it could be anything. Now to build an Appium MCP server here, these are the some steps given here. First we'll start with our cloud desktop. So you need to have a cloud desktop. If you're not having, go and download a cloud desktop from the internet. So we are going to build our MCP server and it will connect with our cloud. So here there is an example given with the weather details like get alert, get forecast. These are some of the tools which they are going to integrate with a cloud, and it will provide some answers on it. But we are going to create MCP server on our Appium. So, and here I'm going to use a Python language to build our MCP, and the detailed steps are given. So the prerequisite also given here, like you need to have a Python and you need to have a cloud desktop here. And in the MCP there are two types. One is Studio, another is HTTP. In the Studio based servers, you should not be adding a print console or println, right? And for the HTTP based servers, you can directly add. There is no issue in that. This HTTP based servers will be running somewhere else in the HTTP mode, but Studio MCP servers will be running on your code editor. Here some of the best practices and quick examples are given here. You can take a look. To set up MCP server, there is a steps given. First, copy this command. This UV is a package manager for a Python, quicker than the pip, you can say, right? You can directly copy this command and go to your terminal and execute this command. So here I'm executing that command. It's already installed. This installation is done. Now the next, here they have given some steps. First, I'm creating a directory for my repository, Appium MCP integration. Then I'll get into this particular directory which I have created. Now I will do git init. So here there is a steps given by using a UV, but we are going to use a pip here. First I'm going to create a Python environment here. Now I will open the Visual Studio and open the repository which I have created here. So here I'm going to create a first requirement.txt, and this requirement.txt I'm going to add all the libraries which are required for this project. I have copied all the requirement. I need a MCP and I need a Appium Python line and I need HTTPX. Now I need to create my MCP server. I'll create another file for my MCP server, is Appium MCP server .py file, and in this this .py file, I'm going to write code to create MCP server. Let me copy this all the import here from this example. As the example is given for weather MCP, I'm not going to follow this. I'm going to follow our own code to create our MCP. Let me open the terminal here. First, I need to install all the requirements. For that, I'm using pip install -r requirement.txt, which will install all the libraries which I mentioned in the requirement.txt. Installation is completed. Then I will just start writing my code to create a MCP server here. So I'm importing some of the MCP and the Appium libraries here. Import WebDriver here. So here I've imported Appium options. First, I'll create a MCP object here by using a FastMCP, and I will provide some name for my MCP here. First thing is I'm going to create a driver. First method will be to get my driver here. So I'm going to create a method called get underscore driver, which will provide me the driver here, and this is providing me a default settings, but I am going to work on the iOS platform. That's why I'll copy some of the capabilities for the iOS. I'll write options.load capabilities, and I will copy all the capabilities which are required here. See all my capabilities here. I've mentioned the XUI test and platform version and what is a device name, UDID, everything. This is the simulator details I've provided, and this is the Appium server port number. Here I need to run my Appium server here. Then I'm going to create my first MCP tool. For creating a MCP tool, this is the format. I need to use mcp.tool. The first method I'm going to create is to launch the particular application. To launch the application, I'll be requiring a bundle ID that I'm passing it as a parameter here. I'm going to create my next MCP tool that will be a tab element. This is the tab element where it is finding the element and just clicking on that element. So instead of accessibility ID, I'm going to provide a XPath here. I'll do the necessary changes for having the XPath here. Then I'm going to create a third tool that is for getting the screen details. So my method name is screen text, which is going to provide me entire page source of the given screen. So these are the tools which I'm going to add, and I'm just going to create a main method here. Here I need to mention mcp.run, and inside this parentheses I need to mention what is the type of it, whether is it a studio mode or what it is. There is a typo in the transport. I will correct this one, and this is the code to call the main method. So this is my MCP server here, and the MCP server is ready. The next step is to configure this particular MCP server into Claude. Let's see what are the steps given here. So testing the MCP server with the Claude desktop, and here we need to check this particular path. This is where our Claude is installed, and there is something configuration file. Let me go to this particular path and open this configuration.json. Whether it is there or not, let me check it. If it is not there, we need to create one file. This is the path where this .json file is there. I'll just open this .json file in one of the notepad, and this is how the default looks like. If you're not having it, just create with this particular name. And if you go to this website, there is a format given. I'll just copy this entire content, copy paste here, and I need to provide the command here uv. It is just saying the package name, but here I need to provide the complete path of the UI. Go to terminal, and here you just execute which uv. It will provide the path of the uv package here. Just copy that entire path here, and in this directory I need to provide the path of my project. Let me go to Visual Studio Code here, and I need to copy full path of the MCP server file here. Put the entire path of the directory. Just remove the file name from this. I need the directory here. The file name I'm going to provide in the next line, and here I'm going to change my server name, that is Appium. So my configuration is ready. Just save this configuration, and here I'm going to add some more details. What is the mode of a chat and some of the details. Then just open the Claude from your system which you have installed, and here whatever the configuration whatever I've done, it should be shown here. Go to your connectors, and if you see here Appium, it is showing that Appium server is running and it is enabled, right? This is coming from the configuration what we have done, and it is showing the exact name what we have provided there. Go to manage connections. Here you can see all the connections, all the MCP server which you are running. Here it is showing that Appium MCP server is running, and all the details, what is the path of it, it is showing there. You click on the view view logs, it is showing the entire logs of the MCP server which is running. And here you should be seeing that successfully started. Yes, so this is the message, this is the log that it's saying that MCP server is started successfully. Then you are ready to use this MCP server. Just restart your Claude and then you are ready to use it. First thing is I need to launch the application, right? To launch the application, I need the bundle ID of any of the application. Here I want to launch the Safari browser. I need the bundle ID of. There is a command to get the bundle ID of any given application. Run this command. So here you will be finding all the bundle ID of this. I'm searching for a Safari here. And yeah, this is the bundle ID of Safari application. I'm going to copy this. I'll go to my Claude and here I'll pass the prompt. Launch the application with this particular bundle ID. Launch the Safari browser with the bundle ID. So this Claude is now connecting with the MCP server and it is saying that it has found the tools and it is asking whether can I go and execute this particular tool or not. I'll click on allow one. So it launched the Safari browser. This Amazon was already open, so it just launched the Safari browser. Now the next tool is a tab element. I want to test this particular tool also. So I want to click on search bar, right? I want to click on the search bar. Let's see what it does. So I'll say that tab the search bar. So first it want to get complete screen text. That's why it is asking it want to execute the tool get screen text. If you see here, I'm just going to click on allow once. Here I'm asking for a tab, but before tapping it want to understand the entire screen and then it want to click on it. Now it has got the complete context of the screen. Now it is going to click on this particular search bar. It is saying that this is the search bar which I found, whether I can click or not. I clicked on allow once. It clicked on the URL path. So there are two search bar. One is Amazon search bar, another is a URL search bar. I did not mention completely that. I just mentioned just search bar. So it got clicked the URL search bar. This is how the AI works. Now the next tool is a get screen test. I want to execute this particular tool by a prompt. I want to say that okay, get me the screen text of the entire screen whatever is visible. So I'm just sending this particular prompt. Let's see whether it will call the tool or not. It is asking me to execute. I clicked on allow once. Yeah, it is providing all the details of the entire screen. It is saying that there is an address URL and there is a keypad which is shown and all the other details which is visible on the screen. This is how the Claude will connect to MCP tools and it will provide a more specific answers or specific actions. So like this you can go and add n number of tools whatever you wanted to the MCP server and keep using it in your LLM model. I'm going to commit this entire code into the Git. You can go and download this and add more tool and you can keep this for reference. Try this entire approach and steps. Let me know if you have any questions.